Alright, Unprofitable Diaries, day 3, I believe. In today's video, I'll just be showing you guys the softwares that I use, all the ones that I recommend you guys to use, and which many pros also uses. I'm just going to go through every one of them. I'm not going to go way too in depth, but I'm just going to show you guys the ones and what you need, what kind of programs do you even need. So first of all, I'm going to go through, I'll just start, I think, and we'll just take it from there. The first site you'll need is TradingView. TradingView is a free-to-use platform where you can watch charts of all kinds. You got stocks, you got futures, you got forex pairs, you got crypto, you got indices, you got everything. This is just a watch list which you can remove. And then you can go in here and search, and you can search for all different things that you want to trade. So it's free to use, and I'll just leave every one of these websites that I showcase. I'll just leave the link in the description. This is the desktop version. As you can see, I've customized the candlesticks and the background, but normally the body of the upgoing candles, they are green, and the body of the downgoing candles, they are red. So that's technically like, this is how it usually looks. Green are up candles and red are down candles. Now this is candlesticks. It's a type of candles that you can use to watch the chart on, and I'll be going through what candlesticks are essentially and how they work later on. But for now, I am just going to essentially just change these back to what is what before. So this is what it was before, I think. Yeah, I think that's the right one, isn't it? Yeah, it is. All right. So right now I am in Sweden, so that's why this says UTC +2. But you can change this to whatever time zone you're in if it hasn't done automatically already. So this is TradingView. You can watch charts assets, as I said before. This is my watch list. I've got some of these. I never use them. I just got them there. Like, I don't know why. These are the assets that I trade. This USA Tech is the Nasdaq index. It's 100 biggest tech in the tech stocks in one casket from the USA, and then this is the 500 biggest non-tech stocks in one casket in the USA. I trade these correlating, but I'll get into that later. These are time frames. Time frames, if you choose the 4-hour time frame, then every candlestick that occurs, it takes 4 hours for it to print. It takes a day. If you're on the daily time frame, it takes 1 day for it to print one candlestick. So each and every candlestick takes the amount of time that you've chosen up here. That is really simple. That's essentially it. The last thing I'm going to show about TradingView are the drawing tools out here that you use. You can use them when you have a strategy. Then you probably will use some of these drawing tools out here. And this is a nav bar. This is a favorite list with only favorite drawing tools that I want to use. I've got them here, so I can just access them quick and easy. But there's many videos out there in depth on how TradingView works, and maybe I'll create a video later on about how it works. That's possible. I can absolutely do that. But there's many videos out there, so just search up Beginner's Guide TradingView, and then you'll learn everything that you need to learn about TradingView. But this is simply where you just watch the chart. So you can open positions here if you connect where you buy your stocks. You can connect down here, but I will not show that because I don't even do it either. Here you got a lot of brokers for futures and forex and crypto and everything that you can use for trading, but I don't do that. I use a alternative platform to enter my trades. So this is TradingView, and I use this for analysis. And now I'm gonna shut down so I don't confuse you guys and overcomplicate this. I'm gonna take the next sites. So this is where I read the trade, do my analysis, and the next thing I'm gonna show you guys are the news platforms. So there are 4 news platforms that you should use. The first one is Forex Factory. Give me 1 sec. The first one that I'd recommend, oh my god, first is Forex Factory. This is Forex Factory, y'all. So Forex Factory is where you can read all the financial news that happen in the world. So I recommend you guys to use this filter. So only use a red folder because that's what actually affects the market. As we said before, when these news come out and the exact time they come out, they can sometimes, if it's bad news or if it's effective news, if the central bank Fed Chair Powell, he's called Powell, he's the Fed Chair of the central bank. If he speaks, then it can affect the market very much. It's very high impact. So just choose that, and then choose the currency that is being used in the country where you trade the assets. So if you trade Euro USD, then you should have Euro and USD here, because news that comes from USD or Euro will affect the Euro USD. It's actually really simple. If you only trade American stocks, I'd recommend you guys to have the United States dollar here, because everything that comes out on the United States dollar news will affect the American stock market. So just choose between the ones you use. I personally use CNY, Euro, GBP, JPY, and USD. Make sure it's red folder, and then just have all of these in checked, and then that's the right filter you guys should use. Now it's the holiday, so there's not many news. Forgot to save it. Not orange either. There we go. So next week on Monday, September 22nd, we can see that at 8 p.m. on I'll just, where can I see what time zone I'm in? I'm in Swedish time zone, so this doesn't fit United States time. But in my current time zone at 8 p.m., the BOE Gov Bailey will be speaking. I think that's someone inside the financial government. I don't know who it is. He will be speaking, and this is a red folder news, which means it will affect everything that has to do with the Great British Pound. So there you have to be careful when you trade. And then you got next one. This is a red folder news. It's called PMI. It can sometimes be very high impact, but not always. At 9:30 a.m. my current time zone, this will come out, and this will affect every asset that has to do with the euro. And then so on and so forth. You'll do that, and you'll read through before you take a trade. Are there any news coming? If there are news coming and I'm not that professional of a trader, then maybe I should not be in a trade when these red folder news comes out. So that is simply how I use Forex Factory. And then we've got 3 other news sites where you can read about what's going on in the world, which I would recommend you, so you stay updated on what's going on. What's going on outside around the world. If Trump is doing anything stupid, or if there's happening tariffs, China, Asia, I don't know, anything, I recommend you to use CNBC, Bloomberg, and Seeking Alpha. And then they basically, you can use Bloomberg. You can use you can choose what edition you want to read. So that's Bloomberg UK. Then it's mainly news from the UK, and then you can use the Europe version. I usually also use the Europe version because I'm also from Europe, so then I can read a bit on what's going on inside of Europe. And then just, you can hop between them and see if there's any news, any high impact news that can affect the market outside of Forex Factory. And then we also got Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha is a really easy one. You can see some of the biggest assets and the change in price, and then you can see trending news, what news are trending in the world right now. Everything from tech to Tesla, oil. It's a lot of financial news. Just read through here. If there's anything that you think, you can also ask ChatGPT. Try to find on YouTube. Just try to teach yourself about it. If Trump, for example, is talking about tariffs, then you probably shouldn't trade, because we saw what happened last time he changed up the tariffs. The market dumped, I don't know how many percent, and it was absolutely terrible. We came back afterwards, and now we're at all-time highs, but still, it was very volatile when all these things happened. So I recommend you guys to use these 3 sites every single day, not only when you're trading, but throughout the whole day. Stay updated on here, see if any big news comes out. And then I recommend you guys to just stay updated here, because then you know what's going on in the world, and that's really important, I believe. So that's news. And then I recommend you guys, you need to have somewhere where you can open your positions, because you do your analysis and trading group, but you have to open positions somewhere. And where I recommend you guys to do that is if you trade Forex, if you choose to trade Forex, shares, indices, and crypto, then I'll recommend you guys to use this site. So then you open a live account here. This is if you have a lot of money in capital to trade with. I'd recommend you guys to open a live account here. You can connect it to either MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5, which are websites, which are apps. I recommend you guys to have it on your phone because the desktop version of these two are absolutely crazy advanced, and you can just see it here. This is for pro traders, and I don't need that. The mobile apps are much easier. And if there are any of these platforms that are confusing to you, maybe I have a video in the future, or other people on the internet will have beginner guides on these. And they look complicated, but they are not that complicated. I'm gonna be honest with you. So these two, you can use Oanda, and then you can open an account in Oanda, and then you can connect it to MetaTrader. So you take your trade in MetaTrader, so it comes to Oanda and opens the position. So that's basically how it works. This is how I'd recommend you to do it. If you want to use MetaTrader as one app, there's 4 and 5. The MetaTrader 5 is the newest one, but some people still prefer MetaTrader 4. I don't use any of them no more. I've stopped using them. I started using another executor called TradeLocker, because I trade on what's called prop firms, which means that I trade with prop firms' money. So I get a challenge, for example. I get a challenge. I'll go through this later, but I get a challenge. I pay a challenge fee. I get a challenge where I have to trade and show that I'm a good trader. If I'm a good trader, they'll give me demo capital, let's say $100,000, and on this they'll just pay me out 80% of the money that I make on this account. So this is their money, and I get 80%. They get 20% of the money that I make. And for some brokers, they also allow connection to TradeLocker, so I'd recommend you guys to use TradeLocker. I like TradeLocker because it's easier to open position and know how much you're risking, and it's just a new generation platform, and I definitely prefer it over MetaTrader. MetaTrader is outdated now, so I wouldn't recommend you to use that. So I'd definitely recommend you guys to either use I'd say MetaTrader 5. If you really want MetaTrader, choose the 5 platform, and then above all, if the broker you've chosen allows connection to TradeLocker, I'd recommend you guys use TradeLocker because it is the best one. I can show you guys how it looks. Actually, this is my demo exam right now that I have, or like type of challenge. You can see it is the integrated trading view charts. You can see it's all the drawings, but in TradeLocker, and then you can open positions down here. Now the market is closed because it's the weekend. They open in 32 hours and 40 minutes. But I recommend you guys to just look at this. It's really simple. You can see all my losses here. You can see I'm unprofitable still. There's a couple of green ones here, but there's also some losses here lately. This is how trading works. So in here you open the position and you close the position, and that's basically how TradeLocker works. That's it. MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5 we went through, and the last one is if you trade what's called futures. And I am thinking about switching from normal indices to trading futures now. I still trade the Nasdaq index and the S&P 500 index, but I trade them as futures contracts. You don't have to understand that if you don't understand it. It's just a different way of opening. It's just a different way. It's just a different way of entering trades. You buy contracts instead of buying a part of the stock casket. I'll put it that way. So if you want to trade futures, I'd recommend you guys to open an account with TraderWeight. It's a really good account. You can connect it to TradingView, so you can actually enter your trades in TradingView. If you go down in the trading panel, you find TraderWeight on the T. Maybe I can't find it right now. Where the fuck is T? There you go, TraderWeight, and then you connect your account, demo or live, and then you can trade with TraderWeight in TradeLocker. It's really that simple. So that was TraderWeight, and then I'm just going to show the 2 prop firms that I recommend. So if you guys are thinking about, if you guys haven't got capital, you haven't got like $100,000 or $10,000 to trade with, I recommend you guys to use prop firms. So once you've traded with demo money for maybe half a year, 6 months, like I did, and you see that you understand your strategy and you're kind of profitable on demo, I'd recommend you guys to buy a funded account. If you trade forex, crypto, or indices, I recommend you guys to use E8 Markets. You can see E8 dashboard, and then you sign in here. It's very simple. And they also got futures, but there's another futures program which is miles above E8 Markets. But if you trade forex, indices, and crypto, I'd recommend you guys to use E8 Markets. E8 Markets allows integration to TradeLocker too, and TradeLocker is my favorite platform, so that's why I use it. And the other one, if you decided to trade futures and you haven't got the capital to trade with your own money, then I'd recommend you guys, and once you're profitable on demo, of course, I'd recommend you guys to create an account on TopStep. Now, TopStep is the leading futures prop firm. It's got everything you need, and it's got very reasonable pricing. So you pay, I think the fee is $49 a month, and you get a challenge with demo money, with $50,000 on demo money, where you have to show, and if you're good enough, if you hit the profit targets, you'll pass the evaluation, and then you get an account with money where on the money that you make on that, they're gonna pay you out 80% of the profits that you make on this. I think it's called a master account. So all these links will be in the description, of course. That was the last program that I wanted to show you guys. There's another program that I recommend once you've started trading good. I just have to find it. There we go. That I use is called Trade Seller. This is for journaling trades and seeing how good you are. To see your analytics, sorry. So tradeseller.com. This is actually a bit expensive, so it's firstly once you make some money, if you've got the money for it, I recommend you guys to just buy the basic version of this. You can backtest, which is where you get data on your strategy, which is definitely a good feature. It's a very, very good thing to backtest. I'll show you guys later on how that works. And then it's also journaling, so you can see everything in here. You can connect your broker. So I connected my TradeLocker account, so every time I take a trade on my phone, it pops up here, and I can see exactly how much money I made, how many percent I'm up, what my win rate is, what is my profit factor, all the things. I'll just show you guys later once you got the ground understanding. And I'm just going to mention again, just to be safe, this is not a course. This is just me showing everything that I've learned, so I can build a social media presence, which I think is a very important thing of trading, a personal brand. That was the last website that I wanted to show you guys. And if you guys have any questions, I'll recommend you guys to comment them below. And if there's anything that I missed, if there's anything that I have misunderstood, please let me know in the comments, or DM me on social media, or join my Discord server and contact me there. Please tell me if there's anything I've missed, because we learn from each other. Like, I'm not profitable. I hope I'm on the right way. I'm on the right path, but I'm not profitable yet. So I can very, very likely that maybe I make some mistakes or say something wrong. So please let me know so we can learn from each other. I'd like for you guys to give me advice that I can use, and I'd like for me to maybe give you guys advice if there's anything you're wondering. Maybe I can answer them. I can't guarantee it, but maybe I can. So that's going to be everything for this. That is all the softwares. And for example, if you trade futures, just don't download the programs that you won't need for futures, because it will just be overwhelming. But these were just the programs that I use on a daily basis. I definitely recommend you guys to use all the news platforms that I also use. They're really effective, and they've really been helpful on my journey. And the rest of the sites that I use, just choose the one that you prefer. I'm not gonna force anything on you. So that's gonna be everything for this video. And in the next video, I'm gonna go through what to trade, what assets there are to trade in depth. Even though I talked about it a bit, I think it's gonna be a relatively short video. Well, I'll just show you guys the assets that you can choose between, and I'll also tell you guys what I chose to trade and why I chose to trade it. So that's gonna be everything for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you want to follow my journey towards profitability. I'll see you guys tomorrow.